Hey guys, oh yeah, for this I was gonna record the how I do acrylic. Well, how I, I just watched the David Finch and Eric Grove. They were doing their a recording of and kind of their thoughts of how they go about doing their acrylic painting with well they're like what do you like commission sketchwork acrylic at the comic conventions where they go kind of quick. And they were using these acrylic markers. Oh yeah, and I started late. Like I was coloring in a face, and then I realized I wasn't even recording, so that's why I was like partially done. And I'm doing layers because this acrylic brush marker. That's all I use are acrylic brush markers. They they don't come out like a thick. It's like a small film at a time, so you got to wait for it to dry, then layer it again to kind of cover everything. But I didn't. I thought that Dave Finch just used like Poscas or something, or just use like a whole like a paintbrush. Because I didn't see how he would just show the pictures on his Instagram, so I didn't really see how he got it done. I was just kind of figuring that yeah he used other tools, but on the YouTube, him and Eric Grove were using these brush markers, acrylic brush markers. I thought that was pretty cool because you don't have to worry about like how what do you call it, Copic or alcohol markers. Like they would just streak across this thing like for a cover of a comic. So you got to use something that's like really thick and will stay still. And acrylic, from how I understand, it's basically like plastic. And I'm gonna be doing remarks on my um, comic campaign for Occult Descent Volume Two, and there'll be a um, tier to get Volume One as well for a catch-up tier. And I'll have these. I'm doing this remark. This was just a test. I'm doing this remark on an ash can. It's like a 5x7, or I think it's 5x7. Anyway, it's pretty small. But I figured, I mean, I don't have the comic book pages done, so obviously they're not printed. I can't practice on those. I mean, I guess I could practice on. I have the volume ones, so I could practice on one of those. Um, this one, I think I went to like yeah, like that. I started off with that really pink color. I think it was like a little too pink. So next time I think I'll pick a different mid tone, like a lighter mid tone. The I go lighter on the next marker that I choose. I'm pretty sure, and whatever. Anyway, that marker I think I'll use that as like the mid tone. Um, and then yeah, I'm noticing like I've made the face way too long and skinny, so now I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm just kind of laying down some lines really to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing on the live stream. Eric Grove and David Finch, they already, well, Eric Grove already had his figure drawn, and then David Finch, he drew with a pencil and then inked it. So he had a pretty good outline of where he's going. I didn't really want to. I mean, this covers, it's like old school comic cover. Like I can't go over it with pencil and then ink. So I figured I'll just go over it with the acrylic first, and then just get an idea of how it's going to look. So this one right here, that's the color I think I'll use for the um, mid tone next time, because I mean this guy's a vampire. He's supposed to be like really pale anyway, and that's what I was going for. I was thinking with this with that more red looking undertone, I figured it would also make him look, I don't know, like more, uh, like once I put this, it looks like I'm putting mascara on him, but once I put all that on him, that undertone would kind of show up underneath, like it'd be a bunch of little veins, is what. Um, it's kind of, anyway, that's what I was imagining. I thought it would look a lot cooler than this, but like I said, I was just practicing. This is my first try at this. Um, I'll, I guess I'll just keep doing them until I got a pretty good idea of how I want them to look. Um, for the first campaign, I did remarks, and I was just using Posca pens with the bullet tip, like not brush tip. Well, in their brush tip, as far as I know, it's like just hard plastic. This brush tip I got right here is like pretty spongy. But for the first remarks I did on the first campaign, yeah, it was just like Posca markers with the bullet tips, and they came out really good. And those acrylic, I don't know, fluid or whatever that's in the Poscas, they come out like really thick, like they almost immediately cover up everything. Whereas this, you could see I'm doing a lot of layers. And then also, uh, the thing I thought was cool was uh, Finch and Air Grove were saying it doesn't matter like what kind of acrylic markers you get, because they were using like these really cheap ones that they're art, what do you call it? He's like an art manager or something. Uh, Jason Schechter, he just bought them. So for David Finch at a convention one day to, I don't know, do some remarks or some quick remarks or something, and and Finch just found them like really uh, useful to just basically like have fun, and it's acrylic, so as far as I know, it lasts for as long as you keep the piece, uh, or the art piece. So so I thought it was cool when they said that it doesn't matter what kind you get, because they had like the cheapest kind that was like $40, and I picked the brand is Art X, I think. It's on these markers. It's like ARRTX. I've seen I forget this. I think it's Cat Art Illustration, I believe, on Instagram. She's got a YouTube also. Uh, she's mostly known for Copic markers, but she was experimenting around with these things, and they were having like a sale. So I was like, cool, I'll just grab those. Um, and she has on her YouTube, yeah, she has some tutorials of for Copic markers. They seem pretty useful also. Uh, and just like the the tutorial I watched for this, or I thought of it as a tutorial anyway. It was just watching them uh, build a figure and then do the remark with the acrylic, and just their thoughts on it. David Finch and Eric Groves. So those are helpful. You realize though, when you're doing these, it's like a lot of um, learning that uh, a lot of things you learn just by doing it yourself. And you got to build up your own experience. It's not a like a one to one thing where okay, I learned this and I say this, and or I copy that, and now I know how to do this whole thing. It's like a ton of experimenting. I mean, that's how I've seen any tutorial I watched on YouTube for drawing, inking, coloring, Copic markers, these markers. Um, and it's really easy to compare yourself to, like professionals, like that you're watching the tutorial from. And I thought it was funny too that even those professionals, like David Finch, when he was talking about how nervous he was when he was picking a color decision, like some of the colors he didn't have, but so he just picked some that were as close as he could get. And Eric Grove too, obviously, he's the lesser experienced of the two, but he was having a heck of a time picking colors and uh, blending colors, and then mistakes that they come into, and then trying to fix those mistakes. Um, but I mean, that also kind of seems like the whole fun of doing this, uh, and it helps out a lot, of course. In like in David's case, where he has a really strong background in uh, drawing anatomy and picking light sources, shadowing and stuff. So I mean, obviously, like it doesn't make you like a master at everything because, like he was saying, he was having trouble uh, blending things and picking wrong colors, and then like possibly overdoing some lighting and having to go back in with a mid-tone or his dark tone and fixing that. Just like things that I guess are kind of imperceptible to people like me watching, and I just think he's everything he's doing is exactly what he wants to do. Uh, but in any case, yeah, um, I figured I would just and that's basically what I'm doing. Is I'm just like noodling away on this thing until I make it look as, I don't know, I guess acceptable at least. Anyway, I'm thinking for this, uh, I'll just like whatever live stream I go on, I'll be on a few live streams once my campaign launches for Occult Descent Volume 2. Uh, yeah, I'll just kind of not auction it off, but kind of taking a page out of Mark Polton's book there when he was promoting Gun Goth. He uh, he would like look at the backers, the numbers of the backers, and then he would do like a random number generator, and whatever number that landed on, like that backer would win the sketch or whatever they were. Uh, was it a raffle? Yeah, raffling off. So yeah, I figured that's what I'll do with this. Since just practice piece anyway. Um, and Occult Descent is, if you're new to these videos, it's about this kid Henry. He's been having these mental episodes like his whole life, and his uncle was taking care of him. So one day his uncle dies, and he was the one that was taking him to all these doctors and stuff. So Henry's at about like 18 at this point when his uncle passes away, and he just runs away because he's like ashamed that he's not getting any better, and he doesn't want to be a burden to anybody. Shortly after that, this guy right here that I'm painting, Sakal, he breaks out of a secret vampire prison, and he's hunting down Henry. He's on the secret vampire prison. He's on a whole different continent from Henry, but he's immediately hunting him down. The closer that he gets, Henry, like, he's getting these mental episodes slash visions. They're coming much more clear, and he realizes that it's this ancient psychopathic mutant vampire named Sakal that's been behind his mental duress his whole life. And he also, through that psychic connection, he sees Sakal kill a bunch of people, like right in his hometown. So he turns to his friend Henry, who Henry turns to his friend Andy. She happens to be a police detective at the West Fargo PD. Um, and Okay, so a little bit of a spoiler to set up the premise of book two is that Henry does get abducted by Sakal here, and Andy, his friend, she joins the VACU Vampire Assault Case Unit to get Henry back and stop Sakal here. And then also in the wake of Sakal's rampaging are there's normal vampires, the non mutant ones. He's the only mutant one, um, and he. Oh, hang on a second. Oh no, I thought I had to speed it up. But okay, so yeah, the regular vampires are also devising a way to deal with Sakal, and yeah, it's going to be pretty action packed. Or that's what I'm going for with this comic anyway. It's going to be 72 pages. It was uh, it was 60, but I went with my editor's notes, Mark Polton, to I didn't add anything. I just like he recommended to let the script breathe a little bit, like turn a couple of because I had most of these pages all had like 6 to 8 panels, so I turned like a couple of them into splash pages just to uh, get more. I was like trying to be really concise, but then when I was looking through it, I was realizing like, yeah, he's right. I got like all these pages are so clumped up. So it just makes some exciting, more exciting pages, more fun pages to look at and stuff. So now, yeah, it went from 60 to 72 pages. Uh, oh yeah, the first ink pen I used was a Tombow, and now I'm using a Stedler pigment pen. I like these a lot more. They seem to like flow more than the microns. For the last time I was using a micron for these things, it was like chipping up the paint. This is a different cover than the covers that I was using before, um, which was the first volume one of Occult Descent. On those covers, they're more like glossy and thicker. But when I was using the microns on those and over the Posca acrylic, I would I was using that guy as reference. I turned to grab more markers and I didn't realize that my chair hit this camera. I'll do it again. I remember that happened twice. This I'm picking a highlight for the hair. Blue and black for hair seems like a common uh, combination for hair color in comic books. Yeah, so the microns anyway, they were chipping the paint on, so I didn't want to try risking it for this comic cover. I just went right with the Stedlers. It's like a really love hate relationship with microns. Like sometimes they're awesome for when I'm using them, and also they're like they seem to be the most popular one around the art stores. Like they sell them in Walmart now too, and the Tombos. But I don't know. I'm finding better luck with yeah, these Stedlers, which are slightly more expensive, I think. And but I found ones that are even way cheaper. They were that Masters Touch, the Hobby Lobby's their own brand. I'm pretty sure it's their own brand. So I like those too. I mean, I could have used one of them as well. The only thing with those is that it says, I mean, it doesn't say archival like the other two, the Microns and the Stedler pigment pens. So like, I don't know if they'll fade or what. And this, yeah, I'm getting trying to pull the teeth out. I mean, pull the teeth out. I'm trying to pull the highlights out from the teeth to make them stand out more. And I was also wondering if I should give Sakal because on the remarks that I did for volume one, I put like, like a bunch of blood over his teeth and from his mouth, like it was dripping down. I was wondering if I should do that for this, but I decided for this first one, it took 57 minutes is when I stopped this timer. I got this sped up to about 2.5 times to make it go a little quicker. Um, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I decided not to go with the blood just because I don't know. I kept like looking at this and then like, what else should I add? I mean, I think it turned out all right. But I mean, I still want to do different stuff with it. Like, for one, picking the different mid tone to make them look a little more pale. There, I'm going to pick another marker. I forget which one I picked now. Oh, I picked a different color of pink for the tongue there. Um, I do this. I trying to remember. I remember it was the teeth. I was trying to get gums on there too to make kind of separate the teeth from each other, and I was gonna add some glowing to the eyes. There, I'm straightening the ink. It was a little sketchy on his chin. Oh, and I wanted to add shadow on this, but I didn't want to cover up those lines, so I put it on and I dab it off with my finger, so like like a quarter of the acrylic ink stays. To I don't know, just kind of add a slight shadow to that. Um, here, here's where I come in. The bottom teeth, I like how they turned out, but then I'll separate these top teeth with like gum marks, like his mouth gums on his mouth. But yeah, I don't, I don't like it how it looks. So I'm trying to like pull the ink lines back again with using the white marker. And this white marker is it's from the Master's Touch. It was on clearance, so I got those like I think it was 12 or 24 markers for it was like $10 or $12, something like that. Um, I didn't get a white marker with the ARRTX brand, so that's why I'm using. And like it's fine too because like I said, these you could use acrylic with like all these markers have acrylic paint on them, so they mix well with each other. And I try to make the eyes glow a little bit. I don't think I did that great of a job, so now I'm just making all the marks that were already there. I'm kind of like pulling them back out again. And yeah, now that I'm watching this video, I noticed that the eyes are slightly off center from each other. That's the thing. I hear a lot of people talk about doing a straight on face and then trying tough sometimes keep everything symmetrical. No, I just noticed that the end of the video is coming up pretty soon. So link for volume 2 will be in the show notes, and thanks for watching.